Straight out the boot room to Wembley, our second home. We come to conquer, no we never walk alone. We dominate, the cream of the crop, drawing all our strength from the roar of the cock. It's all for one, and one for all. Pass a move, we're talking total football. Here we go again, Roy's red machine. Liverpool, the greatest team the world has ever seen. Pass a move, it's the Liverpool crew. Pass a move, it's the Liverpool crew. Pass a move, 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 it's the Liverpool crew.
Hello and welcome back to the Liverpool Groove. So it just wasn't to be on Sunday, was it? We were out-fought, out-battled, out anything you can think of. Newcastle were the better team in every single department. Fair play to them. Absolutely deserved the win. Their end, fantastic. Their support, unbelievable, as you'd expect. They treated it like a big occasion. It felt like we didn't. I think even... I think there's been loads of people on Twitter and stuff saying about how bad our end was. And I think even for a lot of people who just haven't gone and I don't know, that was our third final in 4 years rather, in that competition. So I think for us, it kind of we let it just become another game, really, I think, in the end. But the performance was just horrific in every aspect of the game until the changes got made, which were probably a little too late in the end. But Chiesa, Elliott, Jones to an extent, only ones who really done anything in the game. The rest of them just woeful.
Yeah. It's the most disappointed I've ever been watching Liverpool in a cup final that I can remember. No heart, no passion, out-fought, out-taught, out-worked, out-battled. As you said, anything with the word out in, we were outed. We were just terrible. Fans were outsung, out-drank. The pubs were full of Newcastle, and as you say, I think they've turned up like a World Cup final. They haven't won a trophy for 70 odd years. Their fans have been up for it like it's their first and last ever trophy, which is how you should enjoy football, no matter how big a team you are. You should go and get behind your team for a cup final, but we were complacent as fans and players. I think anyone in the stadium will say it's one of the worst atmospheres they've ever been part of. Too many space cadets in the crowd who've gone to the first games and stuff like that because they've got the dough to do it. And I'm glad, in a way, that we did play shit and that the atmosphere was shit, because it might put these cunts from going again, because they're paying all that money to go and be part of this atmosphere and witness it, and it didn't come. So I'm part glad. I hope they think that's how every final is, and they stop putting their hand in the pocket to go to these big games. And when you've got lads outside who would fucking sing their heart out. But I think no matter who you were, if I was there and that crowd was like that, there's only so much you can do. There's only 5 minutes of singing where you can go, no one's joining in here, and you pack in. There's not many who would be relentless with that. It's just a poor day from everyone, the fans, the team, the manager. I thought it was shocking in all aspects. And I think we did. We undermined the cup. It almost felt as if, like, just get this out the way, get this cup won, and fucking plod on with the league and that. Wrong way to look at it, but if that's our attitude towards the competition as fans and as players, then don't celebrate getting to the final like we have been. Don't be talking about getting to Wembley and buzzing about it if that's how we're going to show up. And the same with the players. If we're going to turn up and just try and brush the game aside and get it out over and done with as quick as possible, don't put the effort in the early stages. Just get knocked out as quick as you can and rest. That's all I'd say. But yeah, I think performance-wise, you can sort of blame the PSG game before it. I had no confidence going into the game. I thought we were going to be absolutely shattered. You're seeing lads playing in positions they shouldn't be playing and stuff like that. They've got a great side who, even with a few injuries or suspensions, is still a good side. And they literally just fucking run us ragged, lad.
Yeah.
And it was, they look like the big team. And we never. So credit to them. There's not many teams, and their online fan base have been a bit pathetic the last few seasons because they've got a few quid in that. But I think your real match-going fans there, as far as I'm aware, they were respectful, they were polite, and you've enjoyed a game of footy and a cup win exactly how you should, through teary eyes and through over-the-top celebrating, because that's what you do when you win a trophy.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I think you talk about the fans, and yeah, the ones there, obviously, there's fellas in the crowd there who are like 60 odd and haven't seen the team win anything. So to be able to witness that is great for them, and you've got to just take your hat off to Newcastle in general, as I say, except Joe Linton. I hope someone snaps his legs. But other than that, yeah, fair play to all of them.
It was like a small club, like the way Newcastle have reacted, and this is no disrespect to Newcastle, but after the final, after the dust had settled, you don't feel that bad about it because of how they reacted to it, how much it meant to them, sort of softened the blow for me a bit. You know what I mean? If that would have been like a Man City or a Chelsea or someone, I won't say Arsenal because they'd have had a parade straight from the ground, them cunts, fucking pathetic. But no, had it been like Man City or Chelsea, someone who also expect to win trophies, they'd have just been the same as us. There'd been a similar atmosphere, and it'd have just been like a brushed aside game. Whereas Newcastle, it meant the world to every single one of them fucking fellas from the 70s to kids who were like 10, all crying for the same thing, that they haven't seen them win a trophy. So yeah, it did soften the blow for me, and yeah, fair play to them. Do you know what?
Yeah.
They deserve it. So that's off to them. And Everton fans are absolutely livid with us because the conversation of a big club now, Newcastle are the bigger club, they've won the trophy, so Everton are fucked.
I know. Yeah, no, it was just one of them, wasn't it? The decision to put McAllister on Dan Burn is one I will never ever get over. I don't think. Like, it's fine for the first one, like, because you're just not expecting them to set up that way, and you're like, all right, yeah, sound. This obviously wasn't meant to be the way it's happening. But then it was every single corner. We were doing absolutely nothing to stop it, and you knew eventually he was either going to knock one down for someone else to score or fucking bullet a header into the fucking far corner like he did. It was a fucking absolutely great header. Few people have said Alisson would have saved that. I don't know, to be honest. I haven't really looked back on it.
He's nowhere near it.
No, he's not.
He could have grew an arm on his arm and he still wouldn't have got it. So I don't know whether from one angle is a poor positioning from Kelleher. He's gone to the side where the ball is, where it's going to get. You're not expecting an header. That was like a volley.
No, it's crazy.
And again, like McAllister marking him. Yeah, first time being bullied. He's trying to lean into him to prevent him from being able to jump, but he's not big enough to have that effect. If anything, he could have stood on him to leap higher if he wanted to.
Yeah.
It was pathetic. It was like it was like that picture of Ron Yeats in the cup final, where the other I think it's Bremner in it, looking tiny. Yeah, just a crazy decision to do. And again, it's the first time, really, you could say that the management, the tactical ineptness was there from Slot. I think it was like a stubbornness where it was his way and he wasn't going to change it. Where we haven't really seen that before. We've seen him have the balls to make changes early on in other games, and he just wasn't interested. He stuck to what he thought was the right thing to do, and it's cost us.
Do you think we've become a bit too reliant on the 11 that start the game? Like, obviously not including Kelleher, because obviously, there might have been a sort of game rustiness with him as well in that. And obviously not including Quansah, who, in fairness, I don't actually think had that bad of a game. I don't think he'd done too much wrong in all fairness to him. But do you think we have become a bit too reliant on sort of that main span of the team? Like, I think they have just been completely run into the ground. Van Dijk, the midfield three, Salah, Jota and Diaz to an extent. I think they played a lot recently, but I think it's mainly you sort of Van Dijk in midfield three and Salah.
Yeah, they have, lad. And again, I've seen people like, you're overreactors, your knee-jerk reaction after a cup final saying Slot's being found out and all that shit. No, he just made poor decisions in a game. Again, I think his arse has gone a little bit. We're in a league. He wasn't expecting us to be where we are. So I think now, because we are slowing down a bit and we have seen we can lose football matches, I think he's just trying to do things that he knows has worked in the past with us. So that's the first thing you do is you pick your strongest team, but your strongest team on paper isn't always the strongest team. That team was fucked after the PSG game. So for me, like the players on the bench, some of them could have started against the Newcastle team that had a few players out. You could start a Harvey Elliott, you could start a Jones, you could start an Endo, and see how we're going. And if it's not going to plan, then bring on the big guns and try and go and blow them away and win a football match. But we just didn't get going. We're not playing football. He's coming out on the telly and saying, like, that's not the plan to play this way, and we wasn't pressing how we should and winning the duels as we should. But after half an hour of seeing it, make changes that are going to benefit the team. You can see that the players are going into, they went into Wolves like that, they went into Southampton like that, they went into PSG like that, where we don't look like the better team. In all of them first halves of them games, we look like we were the underdogs, and Newcastle made us look like underdogs. From the first 10 minutes, I knew we weren't winning that game. And, you know, obviously the manager could change things at that moment and put a bit of confidence into us and have a few attacks, but there was just nothing from us. And the longer it went on, the more you thought, fucking hell. There was just a 10-minute spell where they scored, and then I thought, these are going to put 3 or 4 past us here. Fucking horrible. They just
and obviously they had that one
forward.
disallowed as well. So it could have been worse. And then I think, to be honest, he probably could have scored a couple when you were trying to kill time at the end of the game. I think there was a bit where Callum Wilson was pretty much through, but he's gone to the corner flag to make sure they win instead, like just so the ball couldn't, go back up their end. So I think Dave kind of took the piss a little bit in the end. I think if they wanted to, they could have scored a few more.
But they got out of third gear either.
No,
and that was the frustrating thing is they were passing it out, one touch football, and then frustrating us when they had to and picking us off when they could. We just had nothing going forward at all. Again, I've said a few weeks ago, I just can't get up for a game when I see Jota and Diaz starting. And I don't want to sound fickle and I don't want to turn on players, but they offer fucking absolutely nothing at all. Jota, without the ball in the box, offers nothing, doesn't offer a thing. Diaz, I'm sick of seeing him go past the man and then going towards the corner flag. Go direct towards goal or just give the ball to somebody else to do it. It's boring to watch. I don't want to see that forward line again. I said it the other week and the week before that, and he's just persistent with it. He's just continuing to do it. And we used to say the best thing about Arne Slot coming in at this stage and why we're winning football matches is because he hasn't got favourites. Because he's got, everyone can prove themselves to him. With Klopp, it was like someone's done good for so long, they're in. But he's already going that way a little bit where he's persistent with the same team and it's not producing. We're not good to watch. We're not enjoyable to watch. You sort of go in the match wanting to win the football match, but you're not excited to see us play anymore. And it's been like that for 5 or 6 weeks, probably since then. To be honest, it's not enjoyable to watch.
I think the only two sort of exceptions were City away and Newcastle at home. I think them 2 games we did we looked great. We controlled the games in both occasions, but like other than that,
the difference though, we controlled the games, but again, we weren't trying to knock them out. We were cautious still. We were in complete control of the games. We defensively looked like they weren't going to get through us, but we weren't gung ho. We weren't killing them. We weren't going at them and at them and at them and at them. If anything, they were going at us, and we controlled it and picked them off. I want to see Liverpool. We're singing about a team that plays the Liverpool way. This Liverpool doesn't play the Liverpool way. This Liverpool plays the Mourinho way. It's cautious. It's negative. It's boring to watch, but it wins points. And I'll always argue that I'd rather win points and win football matches and league titles and cups than play fancy football. But there's only so long you can do it for. We're going into the last stage of the season here. We're out the Champions League deservedly. We're out we've lost the cup deservedly. Outplayed by 2 on the day better football teams than us, who played better attacking football than us. There's only so much pressure you can absorb without conceding goals, and in the end we've conceded again, and we're offering nothing going forward. So that would be, if I could sit down for a pint with Arnie Slot, I'd say, listen, we're a good enough football team to win football matches in an exciting manner, in a manner where we go and make a statement and say we're a better football team than we look at the moment. So that's what I want going forward for the rest of the season. I'm not saying go out and try and fucking slap everyone for 90 minutes and win 5-0, but just go out there and, you know, get back to having your 10, 15 shots at goal and having a go, because we're very cautious at the minute.
Yeah, I think a lot of that's probably down to, like, I don't think he obviously doesn't trust Núñez to start, which I can't blame him for. Obviously, we lost Gakpo for a few games. He's come back probably a bit prematurely. Didn't look ready in either game that he's played in since he's come back. Chiesa, for whatever reason, just cannot get a good look in at all. We will come to in just a minute, but yeah, it's almost like he's doing it out of necessity at the minute. Whereas there's other options there, like, you know, I know it sounds silly, but like, obviously people were saying don't loan Jadon Danns out and keep him. Like, Jadon Danns offers something that none of the other forwards do, because he is just an out and out striker. He's not one who can play across the front three like every single other forward we've got is. He's one who will sit in the box. He's a poacher. You know what I mean? That's what we're missing. We're missing just a clinical poacher, and it's great having Salah getting the goals and assists that he does and getting these incredible numbers, and no one will ever replace that, I don't think. But when he's off it, when he gets marked out of games like he did on Sunday and when he did against PSG, none of the other forwards are stepping up. I'm not including Gakpo in the last two, because obviously, as I say, he's come back at the wrong time for him. I don't think he's ready at all. I think in an ideal world, he wouldn't have been back until after the international break, I don't think. But none of the other forwards are stepping up. Like Diaz, just like you said, he beats a man, goes to the corner flag, and then tries to beat the man again and loses the ball. And he looks great because he's energetic and he's in and out and stuff like that. But it's like there's no end product. He's the start of the season, he was fucking brilliant. He's slowly sort of getting into that. I mentioned it last time. I think he's slowly sort of becoming a bit of a Doku, where he can beat. He looks good going up against the man. Doesn't know what to do with it once he's beat the man. Jota, like you said, at the minute, like, you might as well just play with 10 men from the start. He's useless, and he can't hit the barn door at the minute. Now we know what he can do when he's in form, but like you said, when he's out of form, fucking hell. Like, Núñez is not worse than Jota when he's out of form. I'm sorry. Like, Núñez should be starting over Jota at this moment.
Núñez offers so much more off the ball, and he works so much harder, and he's fucking wild. But I don't want to slate Jota, because we've seen Jota when he's at that about him, where he's got that hunger to get back into the midfield and win the ball. And, you know, you were saying about Jadon Danns there being a box striker, but, you know, that last goal he scored where he wins the ball in the midfield and plays a 1-2 and we score. That's what Jota's like as well. He can win the ball back and he can take players on, and he's just not doing it. But again, it's like he's not at that level like a Salah, where you can go, you keep him on and something's going to happen. You know, Salah could not touch the ball for 90 minutes and you could still get a goal out of him. I don't think Jota's like that at the moment, and he has been in the past. Well, I'm just sick to death. I've seen them two on the left and the middle. I just think it's, as soon as I see their names on the team sheet, I think we're going to have a shot or two here. And as you say, Salah, he can't pick us up every game. I think he's in Ramadan at the minute, isn't he? He's fasting, and he shouldn't be playing. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think he should be playing. It's not healthy to fucking work that hard. I think we're struggling. I'm not saying it's because of that, but if you're not putting nothing in your body to fuel you, you've got no fuel, you're already running on empty. I don't think he should be playing, and I think that should be a decision the manager makes and proposes to him. If you're going to do it to the extent that your religion asks for, then don't play the football matches. By all means, train, be on the bench, and if we need you, we can throw you on, but you can't be starting games. Surely not.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, Ramadan is over by the time we next play, so hopefully we do start seeing the best of him again with the running. Like, it's nice. It's nice that we have only got that to focus on now, I suppose. But yeah, like you say, it's got to be so difficult for him trying to hit them same levels that he's hitting while he's doing Ramadan, because like you see how much it affects him when he doesn't have a good game. Like people say sometimes when he gets took off that he's pissed off and he's having a go in that, but you know with him it's always that he's annoyed at his own performance and how he's done in the game. He's always wanting to do better himself. Like so, it's got to be tough for him knowing that he's been underperforming in games and that he hasn't been able to help the team. And it's just one of them that you got to put up it. Like I said, I do want to sort of try and talk about the one or two positives that there was from the game, and that was for me Chiesa and Elliot. I thought both of them just offered something completely different when they come on. Elliot winning the ball back in the midfield, the pass through to Chiesa, timed his run perfect. You know, the finish was what we've been missing from the rest of our forwards who aren't called Mohamed Salah. It was great. He's put himself in contention now for the rest of the season. I think they both have, as long as I seen Harvey Elliott was limping after Joe Linton fucking viciously assaulted him. How that wasn't even looked at, I'll never know. But never mind that. Don't want to put anything down to referee and anything like that, because it just wasn't anything to do with that on Sunday. But yeah, both of them put themselves in contention. Like for me going forward, as long as he's fully fit, I think the front three, at least for a couple of games, see what it works like, has got to be Salah, Chiesa and Gakpo.
Yeah, I'd start Chiesa through the middle because he looks like a striker. I know he's meant to play on the right or the left, but he's got that on the shoulder run. He'll time his run, unlike Nunes. He'll try and get in behind, and when he does, he's got a good finish on him. He's had a handful of cameos, and the only one he was really poor in was Plymouth. All the others, he's looked like the best player on the pitch. He's come on, he's at the post, he's had a fucking shot. I think he scored before, hasn't he? So he gets on and he just has a go. He brings energy and he brings determination and he fucking tries. He might not be match fit, and you know I'd like to know what Arne Slot thinks of him, because there's 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, a brilliant player in there. He's not a finished article. He's a brilliant player and he can still be a bit better. But you know he's not finished as a player either. He's got something that you need in a front line like ours. He buzzes around. He wants to be on the ball. He wants to grab the game by the scruff of the neck, and he wants to try and drag us over the line to win. And you know, at this part of the season, some of the others aren't doing that. So I do want to see more of him. Again, it's difficult because of where he plays, but if he can learn to do what Jota and Nunes do and rotate across that left and right with the others, I just don't see why. If you were going to rotate, I'd be giving him a go against Everton, 100%. I really would.
Yeah.
And I'd also suggest playing Harvey Elliott in the midfield, because we're just lacking. Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, McAllister, they need a break.
Yeah, big time.
And they're not going to be the type of players that go into a dogfight. Whereas Chiesa will run round and tackle. Elliott will tackle. I'd even go as far as saying Enzo. We played the wrong team when we played Everton last time. He wasn't. We were up for the fight a bit, but we got outfought and then we ended up drawing. So we need to go in where if they're going to kick us, they can, because we can kick them back. But we want to go in and say, listen, we're not getting drawn into that. We're going to play our footy. You can do that with Enzo. You can do that with Elliott. You can do that with Chiesa. So I'd be looking at shaking the team up a little bit now. If it doesn't quite go, you know, we've got enough grace with the points we've got to go, listen, we've took a chance. It hasn't worked. Let's fucking stick to what we know and let's play the team we know and let's run them into the ground and see if they can keep winning points, because that's what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, and I think it's obviously, if we do just keep running them into the ground, it's only going to be detrimental to us. And then, you know, we've got a 12-point gap at the minute. That'll start to diminish if we keep insisting with the same players week in, week out. Like, there's a breaking point for them. And obviously, playing once a week, barring the Everton game, I think we've got the Everton game is a weekday, and then we play the weekend as well. After that, it's a game a week. Like, it's going to get easier, but it's still, there's a breaking point for these players. Like, so yeah, we do need to change it up for Everton, especially for Everton. You know, they're fucking probably the informed team in the league at the minute. Fucking Like
Mad,
the turnaround David Moyes has done. You gotta give credit where it's due. Like he's fucking.
No, fuck him. He looks like gold.
I agree, fuck him, but no, you're off. So it's
but
you know.
The thing is, like, they're still absolutely shit. They're still crap, but the way they believe when they go a goal down, they believe they can score, and that's something he's instilled in them.
Like fucking Ted Lasso, innit?
They don't play good football. They're still like Stoke, but they've got a bit more belief. You've got players like Beto, who's probably gone back to his normal self now, but just they're working their arse off. They're trying to get points. They're trying to go out with a bang for the last season, Goodison. And we've got to try and fucking end that at Anfield. We've got to end this little informed period and just not get dragged into that dogfight. We've got to go there and go, listen, we're fucking 10 times better than these dogs. Let's go and play footy. Let's have them chasing shadows like PSG did to us, because we're capable of it. We're absolutely capable of it. But, you know, teams like that can't run around like that for 90 minutes. Eventually they tire, and then eventually they can see goals. So we've got to go in with that mindset that we're a better footy team. We're going to show you that. And that's what I want to see from Slot and this Liverpool team now. And I think he's got the squad to be able to. If Curtis Jones starts alongside Elliott, it's not McAllister, it's not Szoboszlai. You'll get the pressing, you'll get the running, you'll get the hard work from Elliott like you would with Szoboszlai. You'll get Jones doing it as well. So the two of them make up for his energy. You haven't got the unbelievable eye of a first-time pass like McAllister, but with the two of them together combined, you do. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you're putting two really good younger players in to replace two quality players. But again, I think McAllister's form's dropped completely. I think if Jones played how McAllister played in that final, where he's against PSG, clinging onto the ball with his fucking facing our goal, just back to their goal, getting pickpocketed, losing the ball time and time again, not winning it back, you'd have Jones' head on a plate because he's from here. McAllister's doing it, and this, you know, it's just the same thing. He's quality though; it'll come good. No, you've got to just judge players on how they're playing at the moment, and at the moment, McAllister's not doing all that much in the midfield. I think he's the weak link. Gravenberch is absolutely running on empty. He's not doing the same thing where he's turning around and breaking into the midfield and striding through. That's not happening anymore. And Szoboszlai is just going to kill himself eventually because he is literally at fucking risk of burning himself out completely. He's putting in the shift of all the other players that are fucked, and he's still trying. Don't know how he does it. He must have inherited James Milner's heart and lungs or something. But yeah, he's still doing it, and you've got to give him and Gravenberch a rest 100%.
Yeah, definitely. I want to just talk about like the look inside the stadium, and just I think it's spurred on a talking point online now, and you know the Newcastle end looked great, sheer black and white, and that was because obviously the club had put scarves down for them all on the seats. Our end didn't look like that, you know, and people say all the time, and I think we've talked about it before, like people do need to start wearing red more at the games and make it a sea of red again. And like even, you know, you look at the fucking image in the background there that we've got, like I don't know, we don't do that anymore. Like you had fucking Ian Salmon on the Anfield Wrap saying, "I'm not anyone who picks up a scarf is a wool," and it's like, what the fuck? Like this is the what's wrong with the fan base. Anyone showing a little bit, you know, you can't wear club merch. You can't wear a Liverpool top to the game anymore. It seems you're not allowed to wear red, and people are going, it's March, it's not a warm month. You can't wear red. It's like, wear a scarf, it doesn't have to be fucking wearing a t-shirt, or you don't have to go in a full kit or nothing like that, but wear something and make it a sea of red. And you know what Newcastle done, we've mocked that for years and years as being plastic and being tin pot and whatever else you want to call it, but that was because we could create the atmosphere for occasions like that. And like PSG, we didn't create that atmosphere. We didn't create that atmosphere on Sunday. It's very few and far between now. We are able to create an atmosphere that looks like that off our own back.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a hard one. I don't wear red to go to the match, but I'll have my red scarf with me. So I don't walk around with my scarf on. I have it in my hand, and then I raise it up. You'll never walk alone, and then I put it down, or put it round my neck. You know, as you do if it's fucking freezing. If I didn't have that, I'd have a red hat on, or I'd have one of my t-shirts or one of someone else's t-shirts on with something to do with Liverpool on it, whether it be a lava bird or fucking the red mist and the flags that I've got. I'd have something. I wouldn't go out in a plain hoodie or plain clobber. Wouldn't go out to rest for a night out or to rest for the gym. I'd go out because I was going to watch Liverpool, and when I go to the pub after it, I'm in a pub surrounded by Liverpool fans. So I don't get the concept of not wearing anything Liverpool or being embarrassed to. It's we're all different. That fella on the Anfield app saying, well, if you wear red or you have a scarf, I've just never heard nothing so stupid. You've got people who have been going for years and years that always wear something Liverpool, and you've got people who've been going for years and years who don't. You've got people who like the subtle badges or the t-shirts with a subtle badge on or a fucking logo. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's different, but to sit there with a straight face and say you're a wall if you have a scarf, just ridiculous. I've took a scarf to every fucking game I've ever been to. I had a favourite scarf that I took to every match. It's been to the semi-final against Chelsea, and then some cunt in the pub told me they needed a scarf for the dad's funeral the following day, and I gave it away, and then they were all fucking buzzing off me, and it was too late because I wanted to kill them, so I had to get off. So it's just, they must have thought I was a wall, and I was just kind-hearted. So fucking lost my scarf. So now one of my old ones, lad. I've collected scarves over the years since I was a kid. I think it's something people should do, as long as it's not half and half.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, half and half scarves. If you're going to Real Madrid away in the stadium and you want to get a little memento for your fucking pub or your room, do you know what I mean? Wouldn't be asked. Real Madrid, Dortmund, PSG, you can do that. Not at Anfield, not raising it up where you're supporting that team, little memento. Not Leicester, not Man City, not Man United, not Chelsea, not Everton. But if you go to a big game and you want something to just put in the house as a little ornament, whatever, I've got no issue with it.
Yeah. You say that. What's your take on the European away caps?
European away caps has become like a trophy where if you're in the next game wearing the PSG cap, you're telling everyone that you went to PSG. Which we've played PSG at home since. So if you wanted to wear it, that was your game to wear it, and then put it in your wardrobe then. So to wear another team's cap to a cup final, I find a bit strange, especially when it's a team that beat us. I find strange. No issues with the lads. It's a little fucking whatever, little trend going over, getting a cap from the team you're facing. If they beat us, it would never go on my head again. Simple as that. I don't even, it's not a memory you want to keep, is it, son? Just a trend for the young lads, I think. Mostly young lads. A few fucking idiots my age probably doing it, but it's not. I don't do it because I don't wear caps, really, so I don't see the point in it when I've been to aways. So if it was me, I'd go and get like something from the Real Madrid shop or the PSG shop or something. Or fucking, again, I've got a Dortmund half and half scarf there and a Real Madrid half and half scarf from when I went to their stadiums. But it's not something I'd ever take with me the match or parade around, do you know what I mean? Just memory.
And that's it. I think.
So the sea of red, you've got some fans saying it's never been a sea of red, and you've got some fans saying it used to be. I've read books from like people from the 70s and Shankly's era, and even when they didn't wear club colours, even when it was the most stylish like eras, the 70s and the 80s, where everyone went in like similar types of jeans and similar types of shoes with a different coat or a different jacket. They all took a red silk scarf to show the support of Liverpool. They all had a scarf or a badge. They had stuff to represent the club. You know what I mean? And I'd just like to see that again. Each to their own. If you're seeing grown men with footy shirts on, with players' names on the back, get frowned upon. But at the end of the day, in every other sport, that's what they do. They replicate what they're going to watch. So it's not something I'd do. I've got the training tops that I wear to play footy in because I want to show that I'm a red and I want to play footy in them. I would never wear them to go to the match, but I'll always wear something with red on. So it's each to their own, lads. But look at that picture behind you now. That's, I don't even know what game that is. But look at the Chelsea. That's Wembley, isn't it?
I'm not even sure. You know what? I think it actually is.
You know what?
I think it's like it is. I was going to say. I think it's Australia.
So look at the difference there. Like, if you've got fans that can't even get to Anfield, so they're watching that in the stadium, and the support they're showing, that looks like an old image of when the fucking Cup was like that. You look at the Chelsea. Someone posted the Chelsea semi-final today, and I don't think there was a person without a scarf. And I understand it. We hadn't been in a European Cup final for years, and it's like the biggest occasion. And again, so is the problem that we're now good and we now just believe we're going to win stuff, so we don't have to show our support as much? Does that make sense to you? Because it doesn't make sense to me to get complacent and go, right, we're used to winning things now. Fuck the scarves, fuck the red. We're in a title running. We were at a cup final on Sunday. We've got to win all our own games to win the league. That ground should be better than the Chelsea semi-final for every single game, regardless of the opponents, regardless of what we think the score is going to be. We've got to fucking cheer that team on to go and win the league if we can. And if you can't be up for it, then that's a bit of a you problem for me. I think it's an issue. I think you need to have a little word at yourself and go, I can't be asked going, can't be asked showing support visually, can't be asked doing it, you know, in the stands, can't be asked being loud. I've seen a fella put a post on Twitter today that he doesn't sing, and he's proud that he doesn't sing, and grown men singing all the same thing at once is cringy as fuck, and they shouldn't do it. And I just thought, I can't even engage with you because I just think it's the most embarrassing thing in the world. It's an hard situation. The way to fix it, fucking stop giving tickets to dickheads who aren't asked about the game, and get out the fucking cop if you can't be asked getting up for it. If you don't want to wear red, if you think everyone who wears red is a cunt, then go and sit on the sides where it's dull, as far as I'm concerned. But for me, the cop should be red.
Yeah. And that's the thing, you know, you say, like, people always say, oh, it's never always been a sea of red. It's like, nobody's saying it needs to be a sea of red every game. No one's saying every game needs to look like that behind us, or every game needs to look like the Chelsea semi-final in 2005. But for a cup final like that, and like for the PSG game, when we knew they should have beat us at their place quite comfortably, and they never. We should have, that ground should have been fucking bouncing. And it was for 10 minutes until they scored, and then we gave up.
But you know what?
Is how we come across.
So Newcastle posted their scarves 2 hours before kickoff. So even me, if I was at the match then without a scarf, I'd go, let's go and get a fucking scarf. Let's go and get something red so our end looks as good as theirs, because their end's going to look unbelievable. And it did. So for me, there the competition is, and that's the problem with when we used to call them tin pots, and we used to laugh at the plastic flags, because they were trying to replicate what we were doing off our own back. So we'd turn up to the plastic flags or the free scarves, and it'd still look better than what they had, because we'd done it ourselves. We'd have all the flags in there, we'd have all the banners, we'd have all the scarves. You'd sometimes see smoke bombs and flares. We'd done it off our own back. It looked brilliant because our fans had the passion in them to want to outbeat the opponents. How they looked, how they sounded. And no one gives a fuck anymore. So again, if that's the attitude, you're a dickhead for wanting to support your team, then I think those type of people shouldn't be in the football stadium. They should be in the pub watching the match, and they can sit there in silence in the dull colours and enjoy it that way. But for me, if you're going to show support, you know, fucking try your best to look like a Liverpool fan, even if it's a little tiny pin badge with a live bird on. Just show a little bit of something. If not, then at least be on your feet making as much noise as you can and rallying everyone around you. But there was none of that Sunday. There was not very much of it against PSG. And it's going to be the way the fucking club goes because there is too many dickheads with tickets.
Yeah. And that's it. Like we said last time, and I think we probably said it a few times, it's like, don't go to be part of it. Go to what am I trying to say? I know what I'm trying to say, and it's not coming out properly. Don't go to experience it. Go to be part of it. Don't go to experience the noise. Be the noise. Like that's it. Like we always say, it doesn't matter. We're not asked where you're from. This isn't a locals or a foreigners or even a tourist thing. Because as you've said yourself, and I've experienced it, you can go to a game and you can be sat next to lads who aren't from the country, who've travelled over for that game, who don't fucking shut up all game, and that's fucking sound. That's exactly what you want. And you get locals in there who want to sit down all game and just watch the football, and it's like, all right, that's sound, but you can do that elsewhere.
I'd rather go in the ground, and if I was sat next to a wolf or a foreigner who was non-stop singing, or a Scouser in his little dull clothes who just watched the match, which I got that against me at the PSG game anyway. I got a foreigner who records everything, and I got a Scouser who was about 19 who didn't sing a single song. He just stood there watching and fucking taking photos. So I'd rather be next to the person who was most like me, who was going to sing, was going to go home with fucking sore legs and no voice. That's all I want. My match day experience gets ruined by the type of people who can't be asked, who want to go there to record it and say they've been, or to want to just go there and stand there because it's something they've done forever. It's just something that passes the time. It's something that they feel they have to do because they've always done it. You know, when your time comes that you're going to spectate, as I've always said, if your sole priority is to go and watch the match and not get involved in the atmosphere and not create an atmosphere and not will people to get involved in an atmosphere, then please get out the Cop or Danny Road, go and sit in the sides, or better still, go to the pub. Because I just don't think you should be going and paying that amount of money in a football stadium to not get behind the team at any point.
Yeah, it's the way it's going, isn't it? And then you see like that fucking deal that's being offered at the minute for the fucking hospital ticket and for the last game of the season, and then fucking play on Anfield the next day. One, if we win the league, what fucking cunt in the right mind is going to want to play at Anfield in an empty stadium and miss the fucking parade for one? You got to be fucking absolutely tapped in the head if you're going to
$6,500 and not turn up.
Yeah.
I just want the pass.
But that's the way it's going, isn't it? Like, you know, that'll be a hoss.
Do you know what that should be, lads? Right? That should literally be a situation where season ticket holders and members who've been to X amount of games can pay £1 to enter a competition. So you imagine all that people there, say fucking what? Say there's 50,000 Liverpool fans who've been to more than like 4 or 5 games. Let them all enter the competition, pay £1 and pick 30 winners. So you've got your teams to play, and then you've got your people, and then you've got 30 tickets going back into the system for proper fans who've got the credits, who haven't got tickets. So again, they're just charging one individual £6,500 when they could make more money by doing it cheaper and giving real supporters an opportunity to go and witness it at the top level. And that's again completely out of touch. Completely out of touch.
And it's just the way it's going, isn't it? Like there's going to be more hospitality and more that's just the way they're going. Like we've always said, I think FSG, they get a lot of criticism, some quite a fair bit of it warranted, some not quite as warranted in my eyes. But I think the one massive criticism they'll always have and they'll never ever shake is that they do see us as customers and not fans. They don't care about us. Like they don't care about anyone in that stadium unless they're paying $5,000 a ticket or they're paying for the. I don't know if it's still the same, but I'm sure when the main stand first got done and all that, I went on the tour just after it had opened, and they were saying in there, if you wanted a seat in the main stand, you'd have to buy a season ticket, which was $5,000, I think. But you'd have to buy two, and you had to buy 2 seasons at the same time. So straight away, it was like, right, we want 20 grand from you right now, and you can have a season ticket for that. And that was that, and that was what when did the main stand open? 2017, something like that. You know what I mean? And that's back then, lad. So, and it's only got worse.
No, it's terrible. And again, we'll probably go on about this a bit too much. I got asked today, like, what's a wall, what's a tourist, what defines a tech trapper and all that. Again, it's all changed. For me, a tourist is someone who's coming to say they've been, to take photos with no real passion for the game. They're the people I don't want to see in the stadium at all, ever. There's nothing we can do to eradicate them because we're a global fan base. We are, you know, whether they love us or they don't. When they come to the city of Liverpool, it's the biggest thing here is the football club. So they want to come in, and I understand that. You know, we do it when we go to like the likes of Barcelona and that got pointed at us. But only allow them to get so many tickets and only allow them to get in certain parts of the stadium. And again, if that person wants to come on over here, they're going to spend every penny they've got because they're coming to do something they've never done before. Then hit them the most for the money. Hit them the most. But make sure there's enough fucking tickets for the proper fans. That's all I want. I want the tourists eradicated. I want them to not be able to get in the cop at all. I want them to be feel uncomfortable when they come in the cop. I want it to be uncomfortable and hostile towards people who don't want to be supporting the team. That's how it should be. And we've discussed this before. That's how it's got to go if it's going to change. And, you know, if you see a tout that is fucking making loads of dough off these people, full well knowing that they're ruining it for everyone else and they're taking the lifeblood out of our club, then try and string one up or rob the tickets or something. Just do whatever you can to fucking stop these tickets getting into the wrong hands. And again, loads of season ticket holders, loads of touts who were willing to make a few quid, and they couldn't give a fuck what it does to the atmosphere because they're not there anyway. But something's got to give. I need to see some sort of fucking something in place where the union and the lads who do fucking all their stuff for the atmosphere and that, they put some sort of plan together with the club to try and get it fixed because the cop is dying, the fan base is dying, the atmosphere is dying, and it can't go on.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I do sort of, to an extent, understand that argument where people go, well, if you went to Barca to a game, you'd want to go to a game to experience it. And it's like, yeah, but at the same time, like, me personally, if I was going to Barca to see a game, or if I was going to Amsterdam for that Ajax game or Paris for a PSG game, anything like that, I wouldn't think to myself, right, I'm going to go and sit with the fucking ultras, with the hardcore fans, with the ones who make all the noise, because I wouldn't know what to fucking do. I'd be just looking around in awe at it, but I wouldn't be able to fucking participate. So I'd be like, right, I'll go and sit fucking in the nosebleeds, away from the fucking noise that I can't contribute to, and just fucking enjoy the game in the atmosphere.
As well, because within 10 minutes you'd have a baton across your head.
Yeah, literally.
That's just what it's like. But that's the difference. Is like someone mentioned to me, like going to Barcelona's not known for its magical fans. Do you know what I mean? So there's certain clubs you can go to where it doesn't really matter where you go, but you're not going to go and sit in the middle of AC Milan. You're not going to go and sit in the middle of PSG or even Real Madrid because they've got proper ultras. You're not going to go and do it at Ajax or Feyenoord. You're not doing it because as soon as you can't contribute to that atmosphere, you're not wanted in there, and it'll get hostile. And that's what I said the other day. I think that's what the cop has to be. It has to be made like. It's laughing stock at the minute. Anyone can do what they want, and that's the fucking woke modern footy, innit? But the game in our country's gone to shit. We're one of the last ones where we do have the lads like fucking putting displays and that to try and generate an atmosphere and make it look good. But you know, visually, sometimes it looks brilliant. But once them flags are down, and a few people with scarves have put the scarves down, the atmosphere is flat as fuck. And that's because there's too many people with access to tickets that shouldn't be in the stadium. And it's as simple as that.
Yeah, it is. Look, we've talked about that probably much longer than we wanted to there, but it's been, as I say, it's been a talking point online since Sunday, so it was definitely worth bringing it up. But look, we are going to wrap it up.
just to clarify, a Wool is someone not from Liverpool. Usually, someone from the outskirts of Liverpool who has a bit of a twang and puts the twang on a bit more when they're in Liverpool. So they sound like Scousers, they're Wolves. But someone from Doncaster got offended that they was a Wool, even though they're not actually a Wool because they're not from near Liverpool. But I think some people think if they've been to like 10 games, they're Scousers, which is mad. So no, a Wool is just someone not from Liverpool. A telly clapper could be anyone now. For me, I used to call a telly clapper someone who had access to tickets, who had the potential to be able to go to games, who chose not to, didn't want to go to the match, but they say they're Liverpool fans. Whereas now, I think fucking 90% of our fan base are telly clappers. I'm a telly clapper. I watch more matches on the telly than I do the match through no fault of me fucking own. So, nothing I can do about it. So, I'm not going to slate anyone for not being able to go to the match, as long as, you know, if you got offered a fucking ticket, you bit someone's hand off, because that's what I do.
Yeah, that's it.
And a tourist is someone who goes just for the sake of it.
Goes and just sits there.
Just sits there. Yeah, goes for the sake of it, goes to take the photos, to say they've been, so they can tick it off a list, and at the end of the day, they probably do it to loads of different footy grounds. Not worth the card to our fan base. And then you've got your locals who are past there, who can't be asked and don't get involved, and they're just as bad as the tourists. So
yeah, I was going to say there's a lot of locals you could probably class as fucking tourists by that definition, in fairness.
Yeah.
But
and that's this big debate where people think Scousers ain't tourists or foreigners and that. As I say, I'd rather sit next to a foreigner who's going to sing his art out for the fucking game than sit next to a Scouser who's going to leave 10 minutes early to get his fucking bus or taxi or whatever. It's just one of them.
Yeah, it is. Well, look, we knew this wasn't going to be a completely positive episode. It turns out it's been 99% negative and 1% positive when we talked about Chiesa. So before we depress ourselves and you any further, we are going to wrap it up because obviously there's no game this weekend to talk about. International footy. For the first time in my life, I'm absolutely made up it's the international break. And yeah, look, we'll be back before the Everton game to preview that. And then we'll just march on and march towards that 20th league title. The rest of the I'm just saying that is factually what we're doing. We are marching towards that 20th league title. That is what we are factually trying to do. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, obviously the league's shit because we're top. I put that up on Twitter today. No matter what else has happened throughout the Premier League year, it's been the best league in the world, except when Liverpool are winning it. So it's nice to know that deep down.
Yeah, lad, and I said this to someone before, is without Liverpool in that league, it's dead close. And that's it. We've run away.
But how many? This is what I said. How many seasons has it been like that with City, and they've ran away with it?
Exactly.
Leicester ran away with it. United won the league with less than fucking 80 points. Like, fuck off.
We can still hit 90 points. It could still be one of the best Premier League point tallies ever. It's one of them. It's because it's us, and I've just stopped listening to all the noise about it. Again, just the Premier League title. You know, we're showing signs of faltering a little bit. People are saying the wheels are coming off us. They're not. That's why we're playing negative football, is because he's scared that could happen if he keeps killing them, keeps having them pressing and that. He's managing that well. We've still only lost one game in the league. The games we've looked like we could drop points, we end up managing to fucking get points back on the board. So there's no worries in the league title. We've just got to pick ourselves up now, enjoy the bit of a break, and then go out and try and make a statement against Everton, try and show them that they are dogs of war and that we are the best team in the country. And that's all we can do is keep pushing towards that title, and fingers crossed we get there.
Yeah, couldn't have said it any better myself.
It'd help if the fans in the stadiums actually acted like we were in a title race and actually acted like we could win a league title and didn't take it for granted. These are the best moments of our lives, and if you can't get up for them games, please, I urge you, fucking message me directly and give me your tickets.
Yeah, that's all there is to it. So, yeah, as I say, we'll be back before the Everton game to preview that. as always, if you are watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like the video, do whatever you need to, and wherever you're listening to us on, follow us on there as well so you never miss an episode. Until next time, up the fucking Reds.
Up the fucking Reds. Come on.